fucking cat.
I have 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like I have a cat, but he's
No, that's my
not around.
pussy.
Your cat's an asshole.
I have
My
5
cat is an asshole.
cats. There's usually one meowing.
High
Go
five,
ahead.
pussy.
Embrace the booking.
Welcome to Book It, a wrestling podcast where we book and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your commissioner, High Five Mike, and to have your GMs, Damone, D Money Allen,
Hello.
Primetime Travie T.
Well, Mike, since they told me I look like Jim Cornette tonight, I'm going to act like him. So, Damone, if you come with any Outlaw Mud Show bullshit, just know you're getting 0.5s from me.
Little Fudge.
Well, it is
311.
TCW, so
Little Fudge.
Investigate 311.
Bad guy.
Hi.
What does that
I
mean, John?
don't know what that means either.
I don't either. I think it's a
He
meme,
doesn't
but
even
I
know.
don't understand it. All right.
Yeah, we're too old for that. Grow up.
So,
John.
welcome to Book It. And this week we're going to continue on with BookItVerse 3 with Damone's company. Why do you want to tell us about your company?
It's Toxic
Mike
Championship
stopped
Wrestling.
himself from saying
It's
Fed.
it's TCW. We're toxic. That's our chant. We are toxic. I fucked up that clapping. I turned real white for a second.
Just a dry ass clap.
Right? But yeah, Toxic Championship Wrestling. And this week we're presenting Ides of March. It's not a pay-per-view, it's a weekly special. So it's kind of how like Impact, but like AEW does like Fighter Fest or like Fight for the Fallen, where it's a weekly, but it's also kind of a pay-per-view. Like it's it's like both kind of
Like winter is
It's an
coming
event.
and shit like that.
like winter is coming. Yeah, it's
A
an
special
event.
episode.
But it's
Special
an event.
episode.
but it's a weekly.
It is a weekly. It's on
weekly,
free
yes.
TV. Yeah.
It's on free TV and commercial.
So it's a
free.
weekly.
Yes.
Yes.
And commercial free. I timed it out.
But it's a special.
Did you
weekly.
make it your own
Special
commercial?
weekly.
But they used to pop a rating and give it a special name. That's the
No,
point.
this episode's commercial free
Okay.
for the
I
fans.
was ready. I was
No,
ready.
I
I
didn't
was
do a
too. I was
commercial.
ready. I had all these quarters in my pocket. Just
Oh,
looking
No, I
at
didn't
them.
do a commercial.
You
this
timed your shit though, right?
Yes,
The
I
company
timed
is
it.
Okay,
losing
good.
money by putting it commercial free.
We don't care.
They were already losing money, so
You'll see in a little bit why we don't give a fuck about money.
Oh well.
Mm.
All right. I don't like where
He
that's
said
headed.
TDJ.
I don't like where that's headed. But all
Yeah,
right.
TDJ.
All right.
it's always the companies that should give a fuck about money that don't.
So
Never lost.
if you don't know what BookItVerse is, what I suggest is go to the beginning of this series or 2 series ago when we first did the BookItVerse is our own fantasy universe, our own custom companies. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. Damone.
Okay, so it's Ides of March. Every year it's going to be... So this is the company's first year, but every year on March the 15th, it would be presented. So...
No matter what day it is.
Yeah, no matter what day of the week, it would be a special episode. So like if we had like our regular weekly would be moved to March the 15th, depending on what day it was.
Okay.
So it's like Roman Empire is the theme, like togas and all that stuff.
So the commentary's wearing togas.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Who's the commentary team?
I support
It
it.
is Don West, Matt Stryker, and Vampiro.
Don West looking sexy in that toga.
No,
They look nasty.
that's disgusting.
So
Don
I've
West
seen
built-
what I
Don West
look
built
like
Travis.
wrapped
That's
up in
what
a towel.
Travis
I was about to
did.
say I see what I look like wrapped up in a towel, so I don't need to see Don West in a toga. It's the same thing.
it's a
Do
beautiful
the fans
thing.
have to
It
wear
gets the-
have to wear togas too?
They don't have to, but they can if
It's
they
like a
want.
Is
coliseum.
there any beach balls?
No, there's no beach balls. We don't do that here. We'll stab the beach balls.
That's
Wow.
fascism. I don't like it.
It's TCW. Our fans they're different.
All right, keep going with
so
totally
the-
canceled wrestling.
So the theme song is
That means you have to have people out in the crowd.
no. I don't mean
You
the
have to have people
actively
out in the
stabbing
crowd
them.
ready to
Anyway,
stab. the people.
Yeah, they all
Like, that's their
probably most
duty.
of my fans have knives. I don't know what to tell you.
Wow.
It's open carry and a TCW
Yeah,
show, no
yeah.
matter what the arena.
Right. The theme song is "Surprise You're Dead" by Faith No More. Like I said, it's commercial free. So this is like the opening part. Like, so Don West, Matt Stryker, and Vampiro welcome the fans to this special episode of Reckoning: The Ides of March. With Matt Stryker explaining that in 44 BC, the Ides of March became notorious as the date of the assassination of Julius Caesar. You know, Matt Stryker being nerdy, which made the Ides of March a turning point in Roman history. And tonight will be a turning point for several competitors. Vampiro says for some, they will wish they had beware the Ides of March. Don West promotes that there will be multiple title matches with John Cena versus Carlito for the world title in the main event. I don't know if you want to judge that or.
I mean, we've done it before, so I feel like we should now.
Okay.
I thought that was hokey as shit, to be honest with you. I hated that.
I mean,
Hmm.
yeah.
I don't think it should, like, personally, I wouldn't rate that by itself, but if I have to, it wouldn't be low because it does serve its purpose. Like, it's just like, hey, this is what the show is.
I think
This
we
is
need
some
to
basis behind it.
define the rule of what we're grading, because some days we grade stuff, and some days people are trying to argue that we shouldn't grade it. So.
Is it-
Context,
I mean,
though.
I
If
mean,
it's
we
a
rate every
segment,
time,
it's
so
a
it might as well not
segment.
even have this
Yeah, that's
conversation.
why I don't know why
What-
we're switching up now.
Was that was all on screen, right?
Yes.
And it has
So it gets
nothing to
graded.
do with what's next. So it's a segment.
It's just a summary, like, hey, welcome to the show.
So yeah,
I-
it should get graded.
There's visuals. There's stuff going on. I think it should be graded.
All right. Well, if that's the case,
I
know
got
that-
graded for a 15-second promo saying somebody
That
was
is
coming.
true.
So
That was an actual, like,
I'm here. No, that we
that was a
graded
vignette,
fucking.
but go ahead. I
John
don't
did
care.
the same thing where he opened the show and we
I'm-
graded his fucking show.
It's fine. Go ahead,
So,
rate it.
All right, so I'm gonna rate this pretty high because I get what it's trying to do and serves the purpose, and I know that like in and of itself it doesn't hold up, so it's gonna get some low ratings. I'm gonna just give this a raw $5 to offset what damages are about to be done because I think that it served its purpose and shouldn't
That's
be.
not how
That's-
rating works.
Well, it's my grade, so fuck you.
That's not
Never
why
lost.
you should.
This is literally collusion. Like you literally just said, I think this was pretty good, but not the best. But I'm gonna give you a 5 anyway to offset what they give you, and you don't even know what we're gonna give them.
Right.
Like that's cheating.
Why are you?
That's literally cheating.
My grade.
All
my
right.
rules.
All right, I'll keep that in mind for your next show.
Jesus
You already do.
Christ. We're gonna have to go back to to collectively booking until we can all get along.
No.
He's gonna do all his builds again in one. just to do it, just to be safe.
No, if he does that, he's getting a 0.5.
I don't even know what to rate this for because
I don't
nothing
either.
really
That's
happened.
what. That's. I'm not trying
I
to give
mean-
it a 0.5, but
All right, so
I feel like I
it
have to
opened the
counteract
show-
John.
it
Because I don't
explained the
like
show.
the history aspect of it because that
I
does
didn't either.
come off very corny. But that's all that really happened. Like so, it's like I can't
think
really.
it's cool though, 'cause,
Right.
Like it like explains like the show's concept, like
I don't think it's needed.
and it gives it the theme. It's cool.
And I was also going with Matt Stryker doing it. 'cause,
All right,
you know,
so-
Matt Stryker's the nerdy commentator.
And that I also think is even better that Matt Stryker's doing it.
That's because you're a teacher.
So
It
is
makes
he?
sense. It
And teachers
makes
unite. All right, I'm gonna go with a solid 2.
That's what I was
it's
thinking
not
as well. I'm
super
gonna go with a
low,
2.
but it's not just where it was disrespectful and it's not high. Like 'cause I didn't think it was good either. So I'm gonna go with a 2.
Okay.
I was with a 2 in the
I don't like
beginning.
it.
I was
I don't
contemplating
like it, but I don't hate. I'm going.
He's giving you a 0.5.
Is Mike breaking up for you too?
Yeah, Mike, say that again.
Mike, we didn't hear a word you said. Mike on that potato internet. Me and him switched it for the last like 3
You
years.
got that Keith internet.
Chiefs
Oh yeah,
is
my
bad.
internet's been terrible lately. So I'm giving it a 2.5. I didn't hate
Oh.
it, but I'm seeing where it's
Travis
gonna.
trying to raise
It's
$2.
Okay.
What he made? He was like, yeah, I didn't like that at all. There's nothing good about that. I'm gonna give you 2.5.
No. I didn't hate it. What happened was I was trying to say I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it.
Oh, it sounded like you
So-
said I hated that.
No. I there's things I didn't like, but I
Okay.
didn't completely hate it. Like it's just setting up the pay-per-view,
just-
and I
yeah.
get it. I think the toga thing's dumb.
I thought the toga thing was cool.
I think
I think that was the
cool.
better
think
part
it's
of the
dumb.
fucking show.
I honestly think that I don't care for that at all.
They used to
I-
have JR
I
out
did-
there in togas when it was
Yeah.
fucking, what is it, SummerSlam?
Yeah,
I
I
hate
hate
it.
I'd be
Travis,
out there
what
in
did
the
you give
fucking
it?
toga.
2.
Two. Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure I heard that
Yeah.
right.
I was gonna
Yeah,
do it
like,
2 the whole
just
time, but like
no
John's
limit, yeah.
giving it a 5, maybe want to give it a
John,
0.5 to
that's
cancel it.
not that really that's play that's
After hearing what our scores are, would you like to adjust your score to what you actually want to grade it?
Oh, I thought you hate when I did that.
Well, now it was
You
what
cheated.
you did with tell some fuck shit.
John,
Right,
this
you
is-
cheating.
Fuck you.
John, all you're doing is making us want to grade you lower for shit that hasn't happened.
I don't understand why
You're, like,
you're
combative.
so
You're being-
angry. Like, why are you sticking to this so hard? Just pick like 2.5. I didn't adjust mine. To
Yeah,
what you
I
thought.
gave it a 2.
I gave it my rating. Now y'all trying to get me to change it. I'm doing
Okay,
what you asked me to
anyway,
do
keep
2
the
weeks
five.
ago.
So match 1. Enzo Amore and the this is build. So Enzo Amore and the rest of El Codice. So this is like in the video package. So there's been about 4 weeks since the last pay-per-view, since Cyber Sunday and today. So Enzo Amore and the rest of El Codice come out to the ring to a round of booze. Enzo grabs the mic. My name is Enzo Amore, and I am still your TCW X Division champion, and you can't change that. Bada boom, realest champ in the room. How you doing? At Cyber Sunday, I proved that no matter what, El Codice always comes out on top. And I've heard the rumors that I bribed the referee. That couldn't be further from the truth. It was simply a gift to referee Nick Patrick for his daughter's wedding. I would never, ever bribe an official. Little Guido and Bruno shake their heads no in unison. Nick's a good guy, and his daughter's a sweet girl, so we just wanted to give her a gift. And it seemed like as good a time as any. Keith Lee's music hits. Enzo, no one is buying that you didn't bribe Nick in order to win our match. I had you beat. If it weren't for you and that corrupt SOB, Keith Lee would be your new X Division champion. So why don't you prove to these people that you don't need your goons or to bribe a ref to beat me, and we have a rematch right here, right now. No blindfolds, no outside interference, no briefcases, just one-on-one. Enzo says, Keith, you had your rematch. You lost. I didn't make it a blindfold match. The fans did, so blame them. So no, you aren't getting a rematch. Not tonight, not ever. Then David Arquette's music hits, and he appears on the Toxictron. Keith, Enzo is right. You didn't just have a match. You did just have a match for the X Division Championship at Cyber Sunday, and you lost. So you will not be getting another one-on-one opportunity against Enzo. Enzo smirks, and then he fist bumps Guido and Bruno. Arquette says, I don't know why you guys are celebrating, though. Enzo, you and your organization sullied the integrity of the X Division Championship when you pulled that stunt. So while you won't have to face Keith Lee one-on-one, you will defend the TCW X Division title at Ides of March in the Elimination Chamber. Enzo and El Codice start freaking out. Enzo yells into the mic, that's bullshit, that's bullshit. Keith says, Keith, like I said, you're not getting a one-on-one match against Enzo, but you do deserve another chance at the title because of the way the match ended. So you will be included inside the chamber. Enzo starts it's still freaking out, just pissed. Enzo says, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. This isn't fair. Keith Lee's standing on the apron, smiling, excited to get another chance to become the champion. So the following week, we see Enzo and El Codice leaving their limo to go into the arena. Joy Taylor, who's the backstage interviewer, asks Enzo, "What?
What's she wearing?"
They're out.
God, shut the fuck up.
They're out. Joy asks Enzo what his thoughts after finding out he'll have to defend the title in the Elimination Chamber. Enzo says thoughts. My thoughts are that I am being wrongfully accused of bribery and being forced to defend my title in one of the most brutal matches there is. David Arquette overstepped his power last week. This isn't over. This isn't over, and they walk off. Later in the night, we cut to El Codice walking to David Arquette's office. The door is closed and locked. Enzo keeps knocking, just pounding on the door, demanding to get in. You see David open the door slowly, and he peeks his head out and says, "Not right now," and closes it. Enzo is furious and tells Bruno to kick the door in. Bruno gives the door two good kicks, and like the door busts open. And we see David standing there next to the owner of TCW, Jeff Bezos, looking over
John.
some report. David yells, "What the hell are you doing?" Enzo is shocked that that Bezos is the owner, and says, "I need to talk to you about my match at Ides of March, because you've been ignoring my calls and my emails." Jeff stands up and says to David, "Is this true?" David says, "Yes, sir, but that's because my decision is final, and he's not getting out of the match, which is what he's been trying to do." Bezos says, "When I started TCW, I gave Mr. Arquette complete control and autonomy when it comes to talent and matches. But I think I'm going to overrule him on this one to change the match for the X Division title." Enzo says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you." Jeff says, "I wouldn't thank me yet. I'm all about innovation. So at Ides of March, you will defend the title in the Elimination Chamber. But it's going to be you versus Keith Lee versus 4 mystery opponents." Enzo is freaking out and says, "Sir, so please reconsider, please." And Jeff says, "Now kindly leave my office, kindly leave my office and my arena, or you'll be suspended without pay until the Ides of March." So Enzo and El Codice leave the office, and Enzo has a meltdown, throwing trash cans and everything else he can find. So the following week, we see Enzo with Bruno and Nunzio confronting other wrestlers, asking them if they're in the chamber and threatening them. So Enzo's pretty much using the faction to bully people to try and get information. Canyon is in catering when he's approached by El Codice. He tells them to piss off when they ask if he's in the match, and even if he was, he wouldn't tell them. Enzo has Bruno throw Canyon through the catering table. Enzo tells Guido to get with their connect and find out who's in the chamber so they can be dealt with. So on the show before this one, so the go home show, we'll call it, Enzo, we see Enzo, Nunzio, and Bruno in their locker, or we see Guido and Bruno in the locker room playing pool. Enzo walks in and asks Guido what he found out. Guido says their guy couldn't find any information. The list is being guarded better than Fort Knox. Guido says while chuckling, or while laughing. Enzo pretends to laugh, then grabs him by the shirt. "Does this look like a joke to you? I'm beyond serious right now. I'm going to be locked in the most dangerous structure with Keith Lee and 4 other guys, and I don't know who they are. Maybe one of them is you. Is it?" Guido says, "No, boss. It's not me. I promise." Bruno tries to get Enzo to let go, which he does, but then he slaps Bruno and says, "Don't you ever lay a hand on me. I'm the boss around here. I put food on our tables." Capiche? Both Bruno and Guido shake their head yes. Enzo says he's going to get some fresh air and then not follow him. Lee is being interviewed by Joy and says it doesn't matter to him who the other people in the chamber are because I am limitless. Enzo alone comes up to Lee. Lee asks where the rest of his crew is. Enzo says, "Right now, I don't know who to trust. I don't know who's in the chamber with me and you, but I do know I will stop at nothing to retain what I have, and I don't care who I got to take out, friend or foe. I proved that in our blindfold match, I will do anything to win. All I know for sure is I will walk in as champion. I will leave still the realest champ in the room." And then he walks off while Lee like looks off in the distance with like a serious face. So to the match itself, when the show starts, the chamber is already down, and the 5 pods, the 4 pods are blacked out with bulletproof glass, so you can't actually see in them, so you can't see who's in the chamber or in each chamber. Keith Lee and Enzo are the ones starting the match because we already know they're in it. So Lee comes out first wearing a black hoodie with black trunks with pink lettering saying Lee and like the logo. Enzo comes out alone wearing powder blue shorts with leopard print kick pads. Excuse me. Enzo gets in and inspects the pods, trying to look if he can see anything in there, but he can't see a thing. The bell rings and Enzo rushes towards Lee, who catches him with a spirit bomb right away. Enzo barely manages to kick out at 2. Enzo rolls out of the ring. Keith Lee follows him to the outside. So now it's just going to be spots, not going to be bell to bell. So Keith Lee goes to grab Enzo, but Enzo is able to hit a drop toe hold into one of the pods. Enzo kicks Lee in the gut, then hits a DDT on the grate on the outside. Oh, and this is like the old school pod, like the original, like closer to the original chamber.
Back when it was like the sugar glass and not the plastic.
Yeah. Like, and it's like, it had the grates on like the outside, like the metal grates.
Yeah.
Enzo goes for the pin, but Lee kicks out at 2. Enzo goes for the realist combination, but after 3 punches, Lee catches the punch and slaps Enzo in the chest, sending Enzo backwards. He then gorilla presses him and throws him into the ring. As he gets into the ring, the lights dim and the spotlights flash, symbolizing one of the pods is about to open. Lee turns his attention to the pod. When it stops, the door opens and out comes Samoa Joe. Joe enters the ring and Lee and Joe size each other up and then they lock up. Joe hits an inverted atomic drop followed by a running single leg drop kick and finish with a running senton on Lee. Lee kicks out at 2. Joe then turns his attention to Enzo, who was sitting in the corner. Enzo begs for mercy, then punches Joe. Joe smirks, then hits a series of punches and then slaps, then hits an exploder exploder suplex out of the corner. When Lee gets up, Lee hits a pounce, sending Joe flying across the ring. Joe sits up and is shocked by Lee's power. Joe and Lee are exchanging punches as Enzo lays on the outside trying to recover. They both bounce off the ropes and clothesline each other. The lights dim again, and the next man out of the pod is revealed to be Pentagon Jr. Pentagon comes out and goes for a cover on Lee, who powers out, then goes for the cover on Joe, who powers out. Enzo comes from behind and tries to roll up Pentagon, but he kicks out at 2. Enzo goes for a clothesline, but Pentagon hits him with a super kick, then bounces Enzo off the ropes as Pentagon hits a sling blade. Pentagon hits a gorilla press into a double knee gutbuster on Enzo, but Enzo kicks out at 2. Joe tries to Irish whip Pentagon into the corner, but Pentagon counters and Joe into the corner, but he counters and Joe goes into the corner. Pentagon goes for a splash, but Joe counters and hits a Uranagi. Lee and Joe are on the outside fighting when Joe hits a Pele kick on Lee that wobbles him. Joe then tries to Irish whip Lee into Pentagon's empty pod, but Lee counters and sends Joe into it. Joe ends up getting busted open from it. As he gets up, he turns around into the Big Bang Catastrophe from Lee. Lee covers him for the 1, 2, 3. Samoa Joe is eliminated. Pentagon has Enzo's arm and tries to go for the sacrifice, which is the stomp arm breaker, but Enzo manages to kick him away. Also, Lee goes back, or Pentagon goes back. Pentagon goes back toward him. When Pentagon goes back towards him, Enzo low blows him. Enzo goes for the pin, but Pentagon manages to kick out. Enzo starts screaming in Pentagon's face that he's the champ, and you can't teach that as he slaps him. Pentagon makes his way to his feet and does the Cero Miedo taunt. Enzo tries to run, but Lee is right there, and Enzo is cornered. Pentagon and Lee take turns punching and slapping him, culminating when Pentagon hitting a super kick, then Lee hitting an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. The lights dim again, and time for another competitor to enter, and out comes DPW star Rooster. The camera pans and you see that Pentagon and Lee are in shock. Rooster enters the ring as the crowd goes crazy. Like, what is he doing here? Rooster points at Pentagon. Lee steps aside to let them go at it. They circle around each other. They lock up. Rooster gets a headlock. Pentagon pushes them off and into the ropes. Rooster comes back and shoulder tackles Pentagon, who kips up. Pentagon goes for the super kick, but Rooster ducks under and goes for a Hurricane Rana, but Pentagon lands on his feet. Pentagon tries to hit a running soccer kick on Rooster's legs, but then Rooster backflips out of the way and goes for a spinning back fist, but Pentagon ducks under. Then Irish whips Rooster into the ropes, who springboards and hits a springboard DDT on Rooster and then kips up to a round of applause. It's short-lived, though, as Enzo comes from behind and hits him with the forearm to the back of the head. Lee goes to go after Enzo, but Enzo drop kicks his knee and hits a tornado DDT. So the lights dim again, and this time out comes Apollo Crews. Crews tells Enzo to grab Rooster. Crews hits the all-out assault triple power bombs on Rooster and tries to pin him. Rooster kicks out. Crews turns it into a Boston Crab. Rooster refuses to tap. Pentagon super kicks Crews. Pentagon and Rooster are fighting again when Pentagon gets the upper hand. Pentagon hits a Mexican destroyer, but Rooster kicks out at the last possible second. Enzo is choking Lee in the corner. Enzo hits a drive-by kick in the corner to Lee, who's seated in the corner. Enzo goes for the pin, but Lee throws him off. Enzo goes to the top rope and goes for the air Enzo splash, but Lee gets his knees up. Lee gets up and hits a Somerset senton on Enzo for a 2 count. Crews comes out of nowhere and hits Lee with a running lariat, then a drop kick that sends Lee to the outside, followed by a suicide dive to the outside. Pentagon then hits a tope con hilo onto Crews, but injures his shoulder in the process. Enzo comes from behind and throws him shoulder first into the chains of the cell. He then hits an arm wrench takedown onto the crate. Enzo then drags Pentagon to one of the open pods and sticks his arm in the doorway and is repeatedly slamming the door into his arm. Enzo then drags Pentagon back into the ring and locks in mob ties and forces Pentagon to tap. So Pentagon's eliminated. So the lights dim one last time, and as the last pod opens, it's Canyon. Canyon goes right after Enzo, who had attacked him in the lead into the match. Enzo tries to get away, but Canyon gets a hold of him and lands a series of lefts and rights, followed by a Canyon cutter. Canyon goes for a pin, but Enzo kicks out. Canyon then hits a pump handle powerbomb, followed by a springboard elbow drop. Apollo Crews comes in and hits Canyon with a pop-up neckbreaker. Canyon kicks out at 2. Crews then hits a standing moonsault, but Canyon kicks out at 2. Enzo comes from behind and tries to roll up Apollo with the tights, but Apollo manages to kick out. Enzo does the healer's I'm sorry, and says let's eliminate Canyon. Apollo looks around and shoves Enzo to the ground. Enzo gets up and pushes Apollo. The two then start to brawl. A little bit of time passes later, and Apollo is trying to escape Lee and makes his way to the top of one of the pods. Lee starts to get up at 2 as Apollo tries to kick him down, but Lee manages to push him away to a little bit further along the pod, so he's able to get his way up there too. Lee and Apollo are on top of the pod, throwing strikes back and forth, trying not to fall. Lee gets the upper hand of the exchanges with a series of headbutts that bust him and Apollo open. Lee then puts Apollo on his shoulder, looks down, and then hits a Big Bang Catastrophe off the top of the pod onto the outside, squashing Apollo, and the whole shell, the cell shakes, or chamber, I should say. And leads to Apollo being eliminated. As Lee struggles to get up, Enzo hits Lee with the DDG onto the outside for a 3 count. So it's a it's a DDT onto one of the grates on the outside. Lee is eliminated. Canyon comes in and the two are exchanging strikes. Enzo low blows Canyon. Out of nowhere, Rooster comes and hits a tornado DDT on Enzo for a 2 count. Canyon hits a middle rope pile driver on Rooster and goes for the pin, but Rooster kicks out. Canyon goes for a flatliner, but Rooster manages to escape it and hit Salida del Sol for a long 2. Rooster then goes to the top rope and hits a diving foot stomp, but only gets a 2 count. We see Guido climb over the barricade and hand Enzo something through the chains. The camera zoom in and we see it's brass knuckles. As Rooster works his way up to his feet, an exhausted Enzo climbs in the ring. Rooster sees him and goes for a clothesline but misses. Enzo then decks him with the knuckles. Enzo he falls down. Enzo then crawls over for the pin. 1, 2, but Rooster kicks out. Enzo can't believe it, and neither can Guido, who's freaking out on the outside watching. Enzo is yelling at the ref that it was 3. He doesn't see Canyon make his way to the feet. When he turns around, Canyon hits the flatliner for the 1, 2, 3. Enzo is eliminated, so we will definitely have a new champion. So Guido can't believe it, he's freaking out on the outside. So it's down to Canyon and Rooster. Rooster slowly makes his way to his feet. Canyon points to the middle of the ring, and the two go at it, throwing haymakers back and forth, the ooh, ah, back and forth exchange. Rooster's Canyon goes for the flatliner, but Rooster counters and hits an enziguri, followed by a code breaker. He then hits a standing moonsault frog splash for a 2 count, but Canyon turns it into inside cradle, but only gets a 2 count. Canyon then hits a Death Valley bomb for the count of 2. Canyon goes for the fireman's carry neck breaker, but again, Rooster slips out of his grasp. Irish whips him into the corner and then hits Whisper in the wind. Rooster then makes his way to the top rope and hits a double moonsault. 1, 2, 3. The winner of the title and the new TCW X Division champion is Rooster. That's it. That's the end of the match.
I'll go first. So I liked a few things about this. I had mixed feelings about Keith Lee getting put in because at first it's like, yeah, Keith, you're not getting your match, and then it is, oh, Keith, you are getting your match. So that was a little indecisive, and Keith's promos were so much worse than Enzo's on that segment. Then the concept of how, so you have tinted glass covering up who the people are, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's an interesting concept. I don't hate that. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you probably have to have them in there, and that'd be the
that's why it's an opener. So they're in the chamber already. Before anybody gets into the,
they gotta have some fucking protein bars and water in there.
Yeah, and before anybody gets into the arena, they're in the chamber.
Gotcha. Okay. I did not like the
outcome. There for a while. I hope you gave something to piss in.
Sure, there's a
I agree.
Bottle.
I don't like Rooster winning. I don't even like there being a new champion. I think it should have stayed between Enzo and Keith Lee. It definitely been Enzo, but I definitely not Rooster. Canyon would have been.
He Scott Justice it.
Yes, Canyon would have been okay. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been my first pick, but okay, give Canyon a run. That's respectable. But would have rather had Enzo. But Rooster, man, not loving that.
But Rooster's not even.
Oh,
did you give me a grade?
Isn't so? Yeah. Rooster is.
Mike cut out. I was waiting on Mike.
What, Mike? Mike's shitty internet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rooster's bad guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you put your title on one of Kenny's people, and it's fucking Rooster.
I have him for all the rest of the shows.
John, have you seen Heels?
Nope.
No, I haven't.
So you would like Rooster because Rooster's pretty much like a Jeff Hardy or a Sabu. He's a high flying hardcore wrestler. You would like him. Like he's just black. There's no difference. He's just a black version.
That's the problem.
That's the issue. You found the issue.
Literally them.
No, I'm joking.
We're kidding.
Also, don't let Kenny sway your opinion.
I'm just letting him know what that is.
I say John likes Kenny Omega, but he hated Scott Justice, which
I
don't
like Kenny Omega that much, but
I will say I did
like it though.
My knowledge
I'll
on
wait
Rooster
till we finish this part.
So my knowledge on Rooster is pretty limited, but I just don't think it was the right choice. Even if he is good, I just don't think it was the right choice.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a 3.75 on that.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go next. I think Enzo, he kind of did the same promo, so I mean, I'm kind of used to that. I didn't like Keith Lee's promos at all. I'm going to be real with you. I didn't like his promos. Even though you did put a title on one of my guys, I mean, which I do. I mean, I fuck with it, but at the same time, like I think for the story, it doesn't make sense for why he would have it. And I do agree with John when it comes to that. I think it should have either went to Enzo Amore or Keith Lee. It should have been one of those two to leave with it. Because now it's kind of like, where do they go from here? Kind of storyline. I think it puts them both down. Excuse me. I'm trying to think what else. I do like the tinted glass as well. I would think that was very creative. So I think that portion of it was good. I think the match was good as well. So I'm going to go with a 3.75 as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a 3.75 as well. Everything they said.
Okay.
Where'd Mike go?
I don't know.
He disappeared.
He disappeared. I'm assuming his potato internet died.
Fair enough.
I will be honest. I wavered on who was going to win this match. Like it changed like 3 different times. But so next part.
I also feel like you changed it to Rooster because John said something last week about people.
No, it was before that.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you was going.
John said what last week?
John pretty much said, I think it was either last week or when I went. He said something about when people from other brands join their brand, he pretty much like knows they're gonna lose.
I don't think
it's kind of like you said what?
It was Keith that said
that.
No,
it was Keith that said that.
It was Keith. Okay, I knew it was one of y'all. Y'all said that and that brings the points down.
He said he doesn't like one-offs because, or he doesn't like us using trades because it's always just a one-off and no one ever
like the guy who the guy always loses. Like he's going in to lose.
Yeah,
it was his argument. But that wasn't the main reason. Rooster was always in the because it was pretty much down to Enzo keeps it, Canyon wins it, or Rooster wins. So it was between those 3.
Okay.
So as the chamber rises, Rooster celebrates and Matt Striker enters the ring. I can't talk. Striker says, "I have to ask the question that everyone here is wondering. What are you, a DPW talent, doing here in TCW?" Rooster says, "Well, I've been stuck sitting in catering over in DPW because Junior clearly doesn't have a good idea or a good eye for talent. He's been letting the most talented guy on his roster rot, while guys who can't lace my boots get opportunity after opportunity. But besides not being a great talent evaluator, he's also not a very good businessman like his father. My contract with DPW isn't exclusive. So when I heard about this elimination chamber, I decided to reach out to David Arquette and ask to be added, and he flew me out first class because he knows how good Rooster is." Striker then asks, "What's your future here at TCW?" Rooster says, "Unlike Tony Soprano over there on the stage," and he points to Enzo, "I will be a true fighting champion. So whoever wants a shot at my title can come get it, whether it's in TCW, DPW, BBW, PTC, or RCW. It doesn't matter. Rooster is ready for anybody, anywhere, any place." And then he grabs the title, and walks off.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish you didn't do this.
Actually, wait. We gotta get Mike's score now that he's back. We gotta get Mike's score for the
Oh,
Oh,
that's
2
that.
point for the last thing.
yeah.
The elimination chamber.
I think the wrong person won.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think it should have been somebody that you focused on.
Which is only 2 people.
Right. So one of the two. And I did like the chamber tint. Overall, I'm going to go with a 4.
Okay. I like it.
I enjoyed it more than I didn't.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't.
No, give me my 0.5 now.
Let me tell you why I'm going to give you a 0.5.
Yeah, Travis was cold with that, but he didn't even like roast you. He just said, "I wish you didn't do this."
He's coming to offset whatever John gives you. So
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I didn't
you
like this part
basically
either.
you just did the rooster gimmick from Heels.
Yeah.
You literally did the same thing, and I don't appreciate that. I feel it was a little lazy. There's no creativity here because you literally took the word for word his exact problems in Heels.
It's a continuation.
He's a bad promoter just like his dad.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that part. That part happened subconsciously. I did not even think about that.
So it's like it's all the same to me, and like
it was just supposed to be a shot at TDJ.
You were over here. It's copyright infringement. And in school, when you plagiarize, you get a 0. So today you're gonna get a 0.5.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I forgot that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, honestly, like at all.
I'll rate next. I'll give you a 0.6. So it's not I'll rate 0.5. I want to give you the extra. I'm gonna give you that extra 0.1 because it's DPW. I want to do that.
See, I've never seen Heels, so I can't attest to it being a ripoff. But
that's literally what happened. First off,
he literally left. He literally was asking for a world championship match, and then he didn't get it, so he left for the rival company. Literally what happened, and then said that he was a shitty promoter.
It said pretty much said the exact same thing, except
he did?
TDJ, he said Ace. I think was what the thing.
So he did leave.
Yeah.
I didn't get that far.
I don't think this is like
well, sorry.
No, I've watched. I think I watched like 5 episodes.
Oh, well.
I feel like this is a waste of your X Division too. Like that was one of the strongest things on your card. You had the best mid card out of all of us with this like Enzo thing going on, and I feel like you
went for the shock factor and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, you really wasted something solid and good you had.
We both killed our cruiserweight divisions, Damone.
Enzo's not done.
So I'm not gonna.
Neither is Daniel Bryan, but
I'm not gonna give this a 0.5. But I didn't love it. I'm gonna give it a 1.
Did anybody else rate yet?
I
was rated by Mike now.
I only caught half of it, but
it was pretty much at the beginning. Pretty much, he said, "I'm here because TDJ sucks."
It is all right. So I don't want to be as bad as all them, because I think you can still do stuff with it.
There's
so
nowhere to go but up. So.
I'm going with a 1.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you gave it a 0.6. I remember now, Kenny.
I gave it a 0.7 to you because DPW. I like Ruther.
So the next segment we cut to the I haven't given you that match, by the way, was 45 minutes, and
I forgot about that shit.
The segment was about 2 minutes.
How long is your weekly?
This one's 2 hours. It's commercial free.
That was 45 minutes of it.
Yeah. It's an elimination chamber.
I understand
what?
that. And I get that, but 45 minutes of a 2-hour show.
My elimination chamber wasn't even that long.
So everything else has got to be speedy.
So
you about to have a Kenny show for the rest of it?
No.
I'm here for it.
So we cut to the back where we see Jordan Grace and Petey Williams, Team Pump. They're coming back into their locker room after like a workout. They got the week off after the week before defending the title successfully against Maria and Mike Bennett. PD says that's one of the best workouts we've had. Grace agrees and asks if he wants a protein shake. He says, yeah. Jordan makes them both a drink, and they start to drink it. Suddenly, we see them both drop their
Hey, hold
shakes.
on, hold on.
Yes.
So she made you some drinks to drink. You drunk them?
Got drunk. Got drunk.
Yes. We see they both drop their shakes, and they start to like hold their stomach and grimace. We then see Jordan like go to her knees as a black liquid starts to spew out of her mouth, as PD then starts foaming at the mouth and also falls to the ground. The lights in their locker room then go out, and we see written in blood the words "decay" on the walls.
The fuck?
All right.
5 for interruptions.
All right. Damone.
Sorry.
Good?
Yeah, I'm good now. That was it. Yeah. So they drink the drink, and they like start like bleed like PD starts
bleeding?
foaming out the mouth. Jordan Grace starts like black liquid starts coming out of her mouth, and like they both like fall to the ground. The lights go out, and then decay is written in blood on the wall.
How would one pull this off?
I don't fucking know. They poisoned their food. They poisoned their.
No, I understand. I'm thinking production wise.
Movie magic. What do you mean?
I was about to say
it's
food
wrestling.
coloring, all kind of shit like
This
that.
isn't gonna be
Yeah, but-
live.
but
This
they're
is gonna be a
taking the drink-
backstage segment.
Yeah, it's a
I get it.
backstage segment.
They're taking
Camera
the
cuts.
drink.
Camera cuts, bud. It's all
We're-
television.
I don't know, man. I'm not here for it. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go.
But yeah, that's the segment. It's about 2 minutes.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
It's cool. It did its job. 2.5.
Travis on some hater shit today.
I'm not gonna lie. I was around the same thing too. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, so I'm gonna go 2.75.
I like the creepy stuff. I'll be honest. I'm just thinking production wise, that would be pretty weird. Like
It's
hard
a
to do.
it's a pre-tape.
I get it.
You're pre-taping.
I understand that.
Mike over here judging like I don't like
Judging the production
camera.
value.
Thinking production wise.
But
But
go to PDJ.
I'm gonna go with a 4.
Sure.
I actually like the feud you're building into.
I don't know where we're going with this. I don't even know what
It's
we're.
Decay versus the team.
Who is
Pump.
Decay? That's where I'm confused
Watch
about.
more TNA,
Abyss.
dork.
It's Abyss and Rosemary.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't positive.
I forgot. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot who they were. So I just saw Decay. I thought you didn't introduce them yet. I'm not gonna
That's
lie
what I
to
thought too. I was like,
No, we know who Decay is. TNA, baby.
I'm gonna keep
Wait,
it at
wait, wait,
2.5, but
wait.
I'm less interested now.
Have you Have you like introduced us to them, like on the show yet?
No, this is like them. This is them saying they
He's
want pretty
telling
much.
us what it is.
Right.
Okay. I just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
I'm telling
that, like,
you
it's not
what
a
it
team
is,
we've
yeah.
already seen and be like, oh, they're
No,
coming.
we've never seen
No.
them.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I'm not gonna lie, you would have lost points if we had already seen them. And they're
No,
coming
you
back.
haven't seen them. They haven't been on any other shows.
Okay, that's good.
I like what you're building into, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay. So this one, I'll admit, this is a risk. So you're either gonna
That's not
hate it
good.
or like it. So
Stop telling us this before it happens.
Right, don't tell us.
By the
So
way,
this
this is
is-
our slowdown period.
No, it's not. It's
This is
Should I
our
go
piss
take a
break, Matt.
piss?
no. So
Mike, get the
video-
pizzas.
I'm
No,
gonna
so
get
the-
your pizza, Mike.
So
I had
there's a
pizza
video,
yesterday.
There's a video package shown for the next match. So this is all in there. So you would have obviously seen parts of it. So Chris Masters, after beating Pete Dunne, continues to defend the Pure Championship in dominating fashion, making all of his opponents either tap out or pass out. The week before Ides of March, Masters and Liv Morgan come out, and Masters says that I am offended. I'm offended that I am offended. When Cyber Sunday polls were announced, I wasn't on it. The most dominant champion in this company was left off the pay-per-view. But then I remembered that you dorks would be the ones deciding opponents and match types. And let's be honest, none of you deserve to have control over the fate of the masterpiece. I saw what you all picked, and boy, did you prove me right. But now that train wreck of a pay-per-view is over, I demand that I be featured at Ides of March. And since I've already run through this division in dominating fashion, making all of your favorites tap or pass out, I'm going to give one more lucky person in the back a chance to face me and get added to the list. So who's it going to be? William Regal's music hits and he comes out. Masters says, whoa, 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 whoa. Regal, I know you're getting a little old, and I don't know if you're going deaf or maybe it's the CTE, but I want to face someone new. You've already been added to the list. Regal says that he did hear Masters loud and clear, and he also understands what he said. But I'm not here to challenge you for the title. I am older, and I can't quite go like I once could, but I want to help the next generation. So, Mr. Masters, I'm here to present my first client, a young man I've watched grow, and the man who will defeat you for the TCW Pure Championship, Eugene Dinsmore. Out comes Eugene wearing a black and red bomber jacket with black trunks. Masters says, Eugene is who I'm going to face. Him and Liv mockingly laugh as Eugene approaches the ring and gets in. Eugene grabs the mic from Masters and says, Master Lock Challenge right now.
No, they would say
Masters
aggression.
Masters and Liv look stunned that Eugene wants to do the Master Lock Challenge. Masters, not wanting to be one-upped, says, okay, let's go. Regal calls for a ref to come out. One comes down, and he sets up the chair. Eugene sits in the chair. Masters locks in the Master Lock, but Eugene escapes by interlocking his hand into his forehead to relieve the pressure, then steps to his left, drops his center of gravity, then puts his right foot behind Masters, and then grabs Masters' leg and hits a sidewalk slam, escaping the hold. And Kenny, before you say anything, I literally YouTube multiple videos. This is possible.
I didn't say anything.
No, I'm just saying, last time I did anything with the Master Lock, you're like, I don't think that would actually hurt anybody.
No,
So I did the
I think I
research.
did something about like passing out. I was like, I don't
Passing
believe
out,
that.
yeah.
That's what it was.
Masters is pissed and yells that he wasn't ready. He cheated as the ref steps between them. Masters demands them do it again. Eugene agrees, sits back down, and screams, lock it in. Masters is like pissed this time. He locks in the hold as strong as possible. And for the moment, it looks like Eugene might fade, but then Eugene reaches up and behind and manages to break the grip of Masters and bends his fingers to escape again and gets Masters into a hammer lock, then shoves him away. Masters tells the ref he's cheating. The ref says no, he's not. But Masters says one more time. Eugene sits back down, and right when Masters is about to lock in the hold, he elbows Eugene in the back of the head instead and starts to beat him down. Regal gets in the ring to try and stop him, but Masters punches him. Masters goes back after Eugene, but he fights back and hits a twist of fate. Masters rolls out of the ring holding his neck and demanding the title, saying that Eugene's going to pay as he and Liv head to the back. During an episode of his podcast, William Regal talks about training Eugene and the fact that Eugene has a photographic memory and one of the smartest and hardest working students he's ever had. This allows him to easily remember counters and hundreds of moves, and also how to execute them expertly. It also allows him to perfectly emulate almost anyone's moveset, and then at Ides of March, Eugene will put all the hard work together when he takes the title off of from Masters. He then says Masters is one of the strongest men he's ever been in the ring with, but he has flaws in that he and Eugene have come up with a game plan to beat him. Matt Kuhn, who's Regal's podcast host or co-host, asks if he wants to share what that plan is. Regal says not now, but it'll become apparent during the match. He also says that he'll be on commentary for the match. For the match itself, Eugene comes out first wearing a black and gold trunks with a black bomber jacket. Chris Masters comes out wearing blue trunks with white accents. Liv is wearing matching white and blue. The bell rings and the two lock up. So Masters and Eugene do a test of strength. Masters overpowers Eugene, then flexes. Eugene gets back up and then puts his hands up to do it again. Master smirks and then they lock up again. But this time Eugene gets the upper hand and then flexes. Master gets up and they lock up a third time. Eugene is getting the upper hand again, but Masters knees Eugene in the gut. Masters hits a delayed vertical suplex and poses while Eugene is in the air. Masters Irish whips Eugene that hits a power slam for a 2 count. Masters goes for a diving shoulder block, but Eugene manages to dodge it, then hits a forearm splash, then a Northern Lights suplex. Eugene hits a sit-out crucifix power bomb. Eugene hits a corner clothesline followed by a running bulldog and goes for the pin, but he only gets a 2 count. Eugene then hits a side effect for a 2 count. Matt Stryker comments that Eugene is wrestling eerily similar to Matt Hardy tonight. Regal confirms, and he says that Eugene and himself realize that Matt Hardy is 16-0 against Masters in his career. So they're using that knowledge against Masters. Eugene gets in position to hit a twist of fate, but Liv gets on the apron and distracts the ref. While the ref's back is turned, Masters low blows Eugene. Masters goes for the pin, but Eugene kicks out. Master hits a Polish hammer on Eugene, followed by trapping Eugene's arm and then landing hard elbows to the face. Masters hits a gorilla press slam, followed by a pin, but only gets a 2 count. Master stalks Eugene and goes to lock in the master lock, but Eugene manages to get to the rope, causing a rope break. Eugene is down to 2 rope breaks. Masters holds on to the count of 4. Masters distracts the referee as Liv chokes Eugene, who's lying on the ropes. Regal says he's seen enough and gets up from commentary and goes and yells at Liv. Liv goes to slap Eugene, but he catches her hand and shakes his head no. This distracts Masters, who gets out of the ring and gets in Regal's face. This gives Eugene enough time to get up, and he hits a suicide dive to the outside, but Masters barely manages to sidestep, and Eugene goes to the ground hard. Masters slides in the ring and yells to the referee to count. Eugene is stirring and trying to make his way up, but is clearly hurt and holding his shoulder. Eugene gets back into the ring at the count of 9, but it's not like he's down till the count of 8 and then gets in. He's like slowly getting up and manages to get in at 9. Masters starts beating him down again. Masters goes for the master lock and locks it in, but Eugene is barely able to get out of it again. Masters goes for a clothesline, but Eugene ducks. Gut kicks Masters and hits a twist of fate out of nowhere. Eugene goes for the pin 1-2, but Liv pulls the ref out of the ring and she slaps him as hard as possible. The ref then throws her out of the ring, or throws her out from ringside as Eugene is like distracted by that. Masters low blows him. Low blows Eugene and then rolls him up for a stack pin using the tights. 1, 2, 3. Masters escapes and retains the title. He rolls out of the ring, grabs his title, and works his way to the back, clutching the title as Eugene and Regal stand in the ring, fuming.
All right. I'll go first on this one. I think this is one of those rare cases where, like, on paper, Eugene versus Chris Masters is disgusting. I'm gonna say that, by the way. But I think the way the build was phenomenal. I would definitely say the build was phenomenal for this match. The actual match was good as well. I just think the ending was bad. I would say that. I think the ending was. I think the way you built up Eugene is kind of like. It's kind of like that video game character where it's like 100% like defense. It just felt like this man was like perfect the way you made him sound. Like it was the way you described him was like, okay, he's a good. This is a good little story to have. And then you had Chris Masters win it. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I think, and also I don't know. I feel like the way you built Eugene too, he didn't even need to have that copy move kind of thing. I think the story alone was good. The fact that he had a coach that can really help him with reversals and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go with a solid 4. That's what I'm gonna go with. I think it could have been perfect. I feel like if you had Eugene win it, and I feel like if you didn't have the copy move set aspect.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna give you $5, and here's why. I Well, I agree with most of what Kenny said exactly. Like I liked the build a lot, and I think the match in this case, though on paper disgusting, is actually good. Um, but I actually like the copy moveset thing and the fact that it's knowledge based now. Like he knows that Matt Hardy had beaten Chris Masters 16 times, which is a wild fact to dig for.
I tried to find someone who Masters had a bad record against, and it
Yeah.
was Matt Hardy.
So I like that aspect that it's not like a controlled version of it, and it's intentional. Um, at first, I didn't like that Masters won, but the fact that he won dirty opens it up for the feud to continue, which I hope it does.
That's the plan.
So yeah, that's $5. That's good.
Give
I
me
like
that
it.
finish
you.
again.
So Masters, where is I lost it? So Liv slaps what's his face? William Regal. It distracts everybody. Or it distracts Eugene. Is distracted by it. The ref's distracted. While they're distracted, Masters low blows him, then rolls him up for a stack pin using the tights.
I don't know, man. Mike, do you have a number? Because I don't have one right off.
I actually like that Masters one. I'm giving it a 5.
All right, I think you could have been perfect. I think the finish doesn't make much sense to me because of not just who won, but how he won. I don't get why everybody's so distracted by something going on the outside that has nothing to do with nothing.
It does, because Liv pulled the referee out while Eugene almost had the win. Eugene was about to win. Liv pulled the referee out. Regal came from commentary.
Okay, you didn't see. Okay, I asked you to retell me the finish.
I didn't think you needed. Sorry. I didn't think you needed like that.
Yeah,
much
I
of
wanted
it.
to see that. Yeah, I could remember the finish.
Sorry, yeah. So it is connected. So,
okay, because here the way I was thinking was that she has slapped William Regal on the outside. Everybody's like, "Oh," and Chris Brown was like, "Yeah, low blow, bitch."
No,
I was like, "This makes no sense. Like, this is so stupid."
And
All
when
right,
you
in that
first
case,
read
I
it,
still think the wrong person won, but it's not as egregious. I'm gonna give you a 4.1.
okay.
and when you first read it, it sounded like you said,
4.16.
it sounded like you said she pulled the ref out of the ring and then slapped the ref. That's what I thought happened too when you first read it. Because I was confused.
Did,
I was like,
and then he threw her out.
okay, so I did hear that right.
Yes. She tried to slap. She
But
tried to slap Regal.
Well, wouldn't that disqualify him?
It's referee's discretion.
Everybody took that referee's discretion rule. I don't remember TCW having that last week. Thought that was a BBW PTC exclusive.
It's been a lot of weeks, man.
Okay, so the next thing we go to a segment. So that match, by the way, was about 15 minutes. So we go to a segment. So we then see El Codice in their locker room and Enzo pacing back and forth. Enzo starts yelling at Bruno and Guido. What the hell happened out there? I lost my title to him. He doesn't even work here. How did this happen? Guido says, I tried to help you. Enzo says, you tried to help me? You think I need your help? I am Enzo Amore, the boss of this family. The only thing I need from you is to find out all I needed from you was to find out who was on the list, and you couldn't even do that. And now I don't have my title. Bruno, you're supposed to be my enforcer, but you can't even do that. I want Rooster taken out. I don't care who does it or how much it costs. Get rid of him. If you don't get this right, I will get rid of both of you. And then he walks out and slams the door.
That was the end, right?
Yeah, that was it.
First start reading. Okay. I'm gonna go with 3.5. I'm interested. What he's about to do to him? So they're gonna take out his legs, have him sleep with the fishes.
I like the seeds of distrust with him, so it at least gives him something to do following the loss of his title. Like now he's kind of losing his mind, losing trust in his group. It's all falling apart for him. I wish this was happening later in the progression of the BookItVerse, like maybe a show or two forward, but I still like it. I'm gonna give this a 4.
Okay.
I think it. I mean, it got through what you wanted it to get through. It's just mid for me. I'll go to 3 though.
Okay.
I'm going 2.5. It is mid to me.
Okay. I love how
That
Travis has a
Travis
different
mid.
version of mid.
Even though
than
like
everybody
last
else.
week we all agreed that like 2.75 is
It-
the actual mid. Like,
Yeah, but y'all
I-
keep saying mid and giving 3, so I'm gonna
Two
keep giving
point
2.5.
five for me. 2.5 to 3 is mid.
I agree.
So I'll go with either one depending on how mid I think it is. If it's
This is
if it's
low
higher
mid.
mid, it's 3. If it's low mid, it's 2.5.
My mid's always been 3, even though I mean we did the math and everything. I still say like look for me, my mid's always
That's
been
how I feel
3.
about 2.5.
Yeah, I was say I always do. I feel like 2 is like damn, but like but
I
like
feel
3
like
is like
if it's in the 2s, it's bad to me. Like especially if I'm
Yeah,
presenting and I hear the word 2, I'm like fuck.
yeah, that's how I
gotta-
feel. I feel like 3, like we just solid 3 is like okay, like 'cause I start my scores off at 3 anyway, and then I work my way up and down depending on what happens.
So we're past that segment. So this is another video package. So following Judgment Day, Dolph Ziggler has the briefcase, allowing him the challenge for the tag team titles. The following week, while being interviewed backstage, he says he has a perfect partner in mind, a man that he's been compared to his entire career, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Michaels and Sensational Sherry come over and say, "Why in the hell would I want to be your partner?" Michael says this. The Heartbreak Kid is a solo act. Dolph says, "I get it, but I don't. But don't you miss having gold around your waist? It's been a while, hasn't it, Sean? Me and you are the two best wrestlers in this company and in the world, and we showed that when we had the first and best match in this company's history. Together, there's not a damn team that can stop us, especially when I have this." Dolph then holds up the briefcase. Then tells Sean to think about it and walks off. The following week, Dolph is in the locker room when Sherry and Sean walk in. Dolph stands up. Sean says that you were right last week. I am the best wrestler in this business, and it's been too long since I've been champion. But I'm not sure you have what it takes to be my partner yet. Sherry says, so we're going to put you to the test. You are going to face Shane Douglas and Mike Awesome next week in a handicap match, and we'll be watching very closely. So the following week, Dolph has the handicap match, and he manages to survive when he hits a zigzag on Douglas for the win. After the match, Douglas and Awesome begin to attack Dolph. Sean, who we saw throughout the match, like watching on like the TV, races to the ring, and he helps Dolph take out Awesome and Douglas. The following week, HBK and Dolph, who are announced as the Heartstoppers, successfully defeat Douglas and Awesome in the tag team match with the Super Zag, which is a sweet chin music into a zigzag. Then the following week, they beat Finley and Dragunov in similar fashion. The show after Cyber Sunday, and having so that's that part of it. So
It
then
should have
this
been
is going to
called
go
the
to
Super
another part.
Zig. Like it's like a super kick, but like super zig
I'm
around a little bit.
As much as I'm feeling this team, I'm not feeling that tag finisher quite as
Yeah,
much.
that's not a good.
Like
move
they
to
could just
me.
do double super kicks, and then like Sean could do like like the off the ropes elbow into a zigzag, and that would have been a fire tag move set. But that's not gonna hurt you too much because I still love this team.
So the show after Cyber Sunday, and having beaten the Fallen Messiahs, Jimmy, Wang Yang, and Hangman are in the ring celebrating their championship victory by having a few beers and thanking the fans for their support as the fans chant "Cowboy shit, cowboy shit, cowboy shit." Then out come Dolph, HBK, and Sherry, who get into the ring. HBK says, "Congratulations are in order. Cowboy shit is the new TCW tag team champions. But this dream, this fairy tale is going to be very short lived. Like Dolph told you in the Fallen Messiahs, we weren't going to sneak attack you or wait to pick your bones. We are going to walk right up to you, tell you a time and place, and take the titles from whichever team made it out of Cyber Sunday. And it just so happens to be you." Dolph says that at Ides of March, I'm cashing in my Feast or Fire briefcase, and it will be Cowboy Shit versus the Heartstoppers for the tag team titles. So the crowd goes crazy, and both teams have a stare down. Um, so over the next couple weeks, they have a series of one-on-one matches with Dolph beating Heyman, and the week after, hold on a second, sorry. Or they have a one-on-one match with Dolph beating Hangman. So the week before Ides of March, Hangman and Wayne come out. Hangman says, "I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It was a rough week last week, losing my match. Losing my match, and no one is giving us a chance next week against Shawn and Dolph. We're the underdogs. We're the champions. But just like our whole lives, we're the underdogs." Yang says, "There was a point before I met you, Hangman, where I was ready to retire and give this all up. But then I met you and we got to talking shop. We got to talking and I realized I still love this business. And then when we started teaming together and winning, I realized I could still hang. But I can't say last week wasn't a little bit deflating, and reading the news that we're considered all over the internet that we're considered the underdogs wasn't deflating. I started questioning myself again, but then I thought of one of the first things you ever said to me in that bar. Courage is being scared to death and saddling up anyway. Sean, HBK, you are two of the greatest wrestlers in the history of this business, and we're the underdogs, but we're the champions for a reason. And next week, we will show you that cowboy shit isn't just a catchphrase, it's a lifestyle." Dolph comes out wearing the match itself.
I hate them so much.
I know. Dolph comes out wearing white and silver trunks, with Sean wearing matching white and silver tights, and Sherry wearing an all-white dress. Out next is Cowboy Shit riding a black horse with the titles around the horse's neck. So the match starts with Paige.
I'm not gonna lie, that's hard. That's a hard visual. That's a whole visual.
I will say that horse probably took a shit and stunk out that venue. When you bring like live horses onto any show, they always like get nervous and shit. But,
yeah.
It feels like I'm watching like a Disney sports movie and we're in the third act. Mighty Ducks isn't our team. It's a lifestyle.
I'm gonna make Dick and Balls say that.
Dick and Balls
ain't a team. It's a
lifestyle.
And we hang together. No, I'm just kidding.
Every team has to say that the next time.
Hangman and Dolph. So this is going to be spots now. So Hangman and Dolph lock up and have a chain wrestling exchange, including like multiple pinfall attempts back to back, with neither man getting the upper hand. They lock up again, and Dolph is able to back Hangman into the corner. The ref calls for a clean break, and Dolph backs off, but then mockingly taps Hangman on the chest. Dolph Irish
Every time you say Hangman, I think you're saying "Hey man."
Hangman.
Hey man.
Yeah.
Hey man.
Hey, sexy lady.
Dolph Irish whips Paige into the corner, then goes for a splash, but Paige moves that hits a corner drop kick. Paige hits a fallaway slam on Dolph, then tags in Yang. Yang hits a springboard moonsault, but only gets a 2 count. Yang then goes for a corkscrew 450 splash, but Dolph gets the knees up. Dolph hits a jumping DDT for a 2 count. Dolph drags Yang into the corner and tags in HBK. HBK hits a teardrop suplex on Yang, followed by locking in a figure 4. Yang manages to make it to the ropes. HBK tags in Dolph, who hits the Heartstopper elbow drop, so like where he does all the repeated elbow drops. Then tags in HBK, who hits a top rope elbow drop. Dolph goes for the pin, but Paige breaks up the pin. As the ref tries to get Paige back into the corner, HBK and Dolph double team Yang. Dolph tags in HBK. HBK Irish whips Yang, but Yang counters and goes for a clothesline, but Yang hits a flying forearm. HBK hits a flying forearm, and HBK kips up and hits the Heartstopper elbows of his own, then tags in Dolph, who hits some, and then they repeat that back and forth. So like they're tagging in and out, just doing the elbows. Dolph hits a Stinger Splash, then hits a Famouser, but Yang kicks out at 2. Then Dolph then hits a Swinging Neck Breaker for another 2 count. HBK is legal and hits a belly to back suplex and goes for a pin, but only gets a 2. HBK locks in an arm trap crossface, but Yang is able to fight his way out and hit a super kick, followed by a Fist of Fury, causing HBK to fall down in a heap. Yang falls to the ground as well and drags himself to the corner. Yang goes to the corner and gets a hot tag as Dolph gets to, HBK gets to Dolph. Page hits a clothesline on Dolph, then hits a discus forearm smash, then a bridging German suplex. Dolph gets shoulder up, but Hangman holds on and rolls through and locks in a crossface chicken wing. Dolph manages to run up the turnbuckle and counter into a pin attempt, forcing Hangman to break the hold. As Page gets to his feet, Dolph manages to get behind him and lock in a sleeper. Hangman struggles and goes down to one knee. Yang comes out of nowhere to break up the sleeper and hits a super kick. HBK then comes in and hits a buckshot lariat on Yang. Hangman then hits a zigzag on HBK, followed by Dolph hitting a Yang time on Hangman for a long 2. Like Dolph can't believe that it wasn't the pinning combination or winning combination. Dolph tunes up the band and goes for the super kick, but Hangman manages to duck it and picks up Ziggler and hits a Deadeye for a long 2. Dolph hits a desperation super kick, then manages to tag in Shawn and rolls to the outside. Shawn gets in the ring and trades shots with Hangman and has the advantage. Shawn goes for the top rope elbow drop, but Hangman moves at the very last second as Shawn crashes and burns. Hangman sets up for the buckshot lariat, but Dolph grabs his leg from the outside as he goes to get in the ring. Shawn is hanging on to... Dolph is hanging onto his leg when Yang comes flying through the middle rope and takes him out with a suicide dive. Hangman goes for another buckshot lariat, but HBK super kicks him as he finishes the roll through. 1-2, but Hangman gets his foot on the rope. Shawn is arguing with the ref as Hangman crawls and tags in Yang, who hits Yang time as Shawn goes toward him for 1-2, but Dolph breaks up the pin. Dolph lifts up Yang, and the Heartstoppers hit a super zigzag, so the super kick into the super kick into a zigzag. Hangman tries to get in to break up the pin, but Sherry grabs his leg, preventing him from getting into the ring, and the ref counts 1, 2, 3, and the winners and the new TCW Tag Team Champions are the Heartstoppers. HBK and Dolph hug, raising the titles above their head as Yang checks on and go up the ramp as Yang checks on Page.
$5. I refuse to elaborate.
I'm surprised John can breathe with Damon's dick down his throat. This was cool. It wasn't perfect. I don't care what John says.
I agree. Like, it was cool. I think it was fun to watch. I'll be honest. I think the wrong team won.
I'll be honest. I wish
Don't care,
that
didn't
cowboy
ask.
shit wasn't involved.
Don't care, didn't ask.
I know
You're
you
gonna get
hate
a cowboy
cowboy
shit tax
No bitches.
of 25 cents.
Okay.
And then I didn't think the story was that great, to be honest with you.
You weren't moved by the
I was
speech?
not.
Paul
wasn't.
Blart looking ass.
I don't know what he said, but good
I don't
for
know
him.
either.
All I heard was licking ass. I was like, well,
I think he said looking ass. I think he made a roast.
I said Paul Blart looking ass.
oh,
Yeah, that's funny. That's great. I'm
Paul Blart had a mustache.
3.75.
A
You
what?
tell him, Mike.
Paul Blart had
3.75.
Okay.
Paul Blart had a mustache.
Perfect mid. 3.75.
Travis's like ranges are so fucking random. Perfect mid. What the fuck is that?
I think it was all right. Like I said, I think the wrong team won. Personally,
You're not feeling the Heartstoppers?
I like them, but I just story wise, I think that Cowboy should have kept the titles. So I think again I liked it more than I disliked it. I'm gonna go to 3.75.
Their finishing move should have been a double sweet chin music to the chest. It'd be the real
Dub.
heart stoppers. um, yeah, I was the bill was kind of weak. The match would be good. I feel like
You
the
weren't
match
moved
would
by
be
that?
good. You said what?
You weren't moved by that?
I was moved.
I mean, I was.
Cowboy
I mean,
shit's not a team.
it's a lifestyle. It's like Bad Boys.
I'm gonna get you gotta get a T-shirt of that.
Yes.
That shit's hard.
I'm gonna go with
No,
it.
it's not.
It's really not hard at all. No, I'm gonna
It's
go-
hard.
Bad.
It's hard to me. I don't give a fuck. I like it. I buy the shirt.
I would say the match is more saving the build. So I'm gonna go with just a 3.5. I'm going with 3.5. It wasn't like
I didn't think. Yeah.
the build wasn't as like nasty to the point where I was like, fuck this whole thing or give it a low score. But I feel like the match is what's carrying this whole thing.
Okay. So then we have another. That match was about. Was it? I calculated it out to be about 25-ish minutes.
How many more segments and matches do you have?
I have 1, 2, 3 segments.
No matches?
I'm sorry. I have 1 segment and 2 matches.
Okay. Cool. Let's get it going.
So it cuts to the commentary table, and Stryker mentions that Tessa Blanchard was originally scheduled to face Casey Catanzaro in a rematch for the TCW Women's Championship here tonight. But Casey is not medically cleared to compete due to an attack by the Sisterhood when they broke her leg by putting her leg in a chair and then smashing it with a baseball bat.
Bullshit. God
I
damn.
forgot that happened too. I forgot that happened too.
I'm saying.
That didn't happen on air. Like you guys didn't see that.
No, they're talking about the Sisterhood.
I forgot that
we
atrocity
forgot that
happens.
So it cuts to a video package with like the Sisterhood in the ring after Cyber Sunday. Tessa has the mic and says, "I told you so. I told each and every one of you that I would walk out of Cyber Sunday with the TCW Women's title and prove that I am the undisputed best women's wrestler in history. I beat America's sweetheart, little old Casey, and the Fresh Prince of Compton, Bianca Belair.
Wow, that
claim
is
my
racist.
title."
America.
Oh my god!
Jesus
And now
Christ.
I am officially on the Mount Rushmore of women's wrestling.
And
if
of
you say-
racists.
Tessa's trying to make women's wrestling great again.
up there with Donald Trump and fucking Rush Limbaugh.
And if you say otherwise, you're dumber than you look, which is damn near impossible. But speaking of Mount Rushmores, right next to me in this ring and in the history books are these 2 beautiful women. On my left is the fabulous Moolah, who is the longest reigning women's champion in history.
She literally jumped off the Mount Rushmore.
Sarah Del Rey.
She's in multiple Hall of Fames and a 5-time NWA Women's Champion. And on my left is another Hall of Famer, the original Diva, a Slammy Award-winning manager, and the brains behind multiple champions, Sunny. Now you may be sitting there in your mother's basement thinking, how did the 3 of us come together? It's all because of you people. We have all been slandered and had false accusations thrown at us to try and bring us down. But we refuse to be victims. Now we stand united as the Sisterhood to make sure that this liberal woke agenda does not succeed. And step 1 was me winning this title. So now no one can take away our First Amendment rights.
I'm done with this. I'm fucking done.
The Sisterhood vows.
Is she the Oklahoma Secretary of Education?
The Sisterhood vows to make wrestling great again.
Yeah, they said it.
there it is. There it is.
You said it. He said it.
Oh my God.
What I miss, I walked away.
Yeah.
I'm angry about all of this.
The Sisterhood vows to make wrestling great again.
That's your copyright infringement.
How is it copyright?
Mike's copyrighting racism.
years ago.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. We can tell. The following week, Moolah has a one-on-one
I'll
match
just switch
with
it over to a T13
with Aaliyah and completely destroys her in about 3 minutes. After the match, the Sisterhood keeps attacking her. Casey Catanzaro comes out with a steel chair to make the save. She grabs the mic and says that she has a rematch clause and is going to enact it at Ides of March. And it'll be one-on-one because the Sisterhood will be banned from ringside. So Tessa is pissed. The following week, Sunny storms into Arquette's office demanding... Hold on.
Meow. We thought we talked about my cat meowing. His kids are meowing. What's happening?
They heard
Sorry.
that bullshit too and had to stop this.
I just want to let you know when I walked off camera, I literally turned my TV off. That's what happened. So just remember that.
Oh, I walked out. I was done. I contemplated coming back.
Mike got a whole lasagna pie.
I had to go get it.
The following week, Sunny storms into David Arquette's office demanding that Tessa not have to defend her title against Casey since Tessa already beat her. David says no because she does have a rematch available to her. Sunny tries to seduce him, and it's almost working when Bianca comes in and says you wanted to see me, David. Sunny and her exchange disgusted looks at each other as Arquette tells her to come in and to talk to Bianca about a commercial spot.
Is this later in life, Sunny?
No, this is early
Prime
Sunny. This is prime Sunny.
So it's prime Sunny, but when did she
with
win the
her
Slammies?
problems. This is in her prime, son. She won the Slammies in her prime.
I don't remember.
No one
when
was
they
giving
started the
no one was giving her
What?
Slammies
Yeah, what was
now.
she getting? Yeah, they were. I saw the video.
We see.
Are we still talking?
Yeah.
God.
Tell Sunny there's nothing.
Just
There's
goes
nothing
on.
he can do. We see the next
See?
week. Tessa.
Slammies.
What?
It's actually Sunny and Cher the whole time. It's just
No.
You said
Sonny
there's
Bono.
nothing he can do.
There's nothing he can do about canceling the match.
Hmm.
We see the next week. Tessa asks Casey to come to the ring. Casey does. Tessa says that they could use a symbol of real American strength like her in the Sisterhood, and they invite her to join. But all she has to do is back out of the title match. Casey says no, and that that they don't represent what America should be. They represent the very worst things about America. Tessa
This is
says,
bullshit.
This is America.
You hated all my America stuff, so I fuck you on your America stuff.
That's right. You tell him, Mike. I told him, Damon, I ain't got no more.
You're giving only the good stuff about America. I'm giving everything.
Have you listened to the fucking segment?
I'm not done yet. They represent the very worst things about America. Tessa says that was the wrong answer, and they beat her down, and they put her leg into a chair. Then Tessa smashes it with the chair while screaming at her that she did it to herself. Bianca comes out with Bianca comes out with a kendo stick, and she clears the ring, and she checks on Casey. It's announced that Casey cannot compete now with a broken leg and multiple torn ligaments, and is going to be out at least a year. We go to the back and we see Joy. So this is back. So that would have been in the video package. Now we're back to present day. So we see Joy interviewing the Sisterhood. Tessa says, Joy, why don't you go put some clothes on? We don't need you, and shoos her away.
I agree to this.
Tessa says that what happened to Casey was unfortunate, but that's what happens when you get in the Sisterhood's way. Tessa says that since she no longer has a match tonight, that she's going to leave this ghetto and go home to Charlotte.
Ghetto?
Bianca,
Charlotte?
North Carolina,
North Carolina.
not the wrestler.
Oh, I said, what is going on?
Not the wrestler.
She's going home to the baby in Charlotte.
You made her a lesbian to give her some sympathy?
No.
You want to make her a fucking problem.
Bianca comes out and says that what her Tessa and her clanmates did to Casey was deplorable. This is what Bianca's saying to.
Oh, I thought she called him.
Yeah. No, she didn't say it about herself. This is what Bianca said to.
Are the Republicans the deplorables, or is it the Democrats?
Republicans were the deplorables.
I can't remember because one of them was the deplorables, and the other one was something else. And I didn't like that era.
No one did.
Okay, fair enough.
Bianca-
Some
Bianca-
people did. Some people were
well, some
calling
people
themselves
did,
proud
true.
deplorables.
True.
Are we
Bian-
almost done with Let's Go Brandon? Is that over yet?
Yes, we're almost done. Bianca comes out and
Team
she
Karen.
says what Tessa and her clanmates did to Casey was deplorable. Bianca says, since Tessa doesn't have an opponent tonight, why don't you face me since you've never actually pinned me? Tessa says, what a surprise. You're trying to steal something you didn't earn. My father taught me the golden rule. Oh, wait, how rude of me. Do you know what a father is? I'm sure yours wasn't around.
Oh my God.
Bianca then gets into her face. Tessa smirks and says, whoever has the gold makes the rules. And as you can see, I have the gold. So no, you won't be facing me tonight, tomorrow, or ever. Bianca says,
I know Tessa got some creative racism slurs. Popular way.
Bianca says that's fine. I'll just have to make you face me, and slaps the shit out of her. The sisterhood is brawling with Bianca and overwhelming her. But she gets some shots and she whips Tessa with her hair. She fights them off momentarily, but eventually they overpower her, and Tessa hits the buzzsaw, which is the hammerlock DDT, on the floor. Tessa says, "You will never be champion. People like you aren't smart enough to beat someone like me. I will always be better. We will always be better." The sisterhood then
Want a solution?
walk away as Bianca's laid out unconscious.
This how it
it?
ends?
That's our
Please
The
send
end
segment.
of it. That's the
Point
segment.
5.
Damone, before I start this, you know I ride for you, right? I've given you a few
Yes,
fives.
I
tonight.
know.
Okay.
I already know the 0.5
With that said, this gave me COVID, all of the strains, monkeypox, typhoid, lupus, malaria, and
Like
monkey
the
pox.
Black Plague.
No, the white plague.
Smallpox.
It's not the black plague. It's the white plague.
This gave me every disease known to man, and I am terminally ill. I'm sick. I love wrestling too much to subject myself to this.
He's not mildly annoyed. He's flat out disgusted.
I know he hates this story. So
This is gonna be the most painful.
This got so
0.5 I
bad,
ever have to
Damone. You
give.
took it too far.
You did. You did. Here's the thing too. On top of that, as like
say she's not
racist
racist?
as it was, like we knew it was coming. Like by the way, we knew it was coming. So we
Y'all
surprised
enabled
by it.
this. You caused this by giving it 5s to start with.
No, but
Y'all
the thing
give
is,
this
like-
low ratings to start. You would have gone this far. You could have stopped this.
No,
You're
but the
all
thing is, like,
responsible.
with this, like with Team Karen now, like it's she was better. I feel like she was better as a solo act. Now it just
I
feels
agree.
like you're making the clan, and I don't like it. And it's just
They're following Kitty at Walmart, recording him.
it was just it was just bad all the way through. It was just,
How many crosses have they burned?
none.
Damone's about to have Bianca versus Bianca versus Tessa Blanchard in the burning crucifix match.
yeah, it was just a lot. Like I can't even say she doubled down on racism. She like quadrupled down on the racism. It was
But
a
here's the
lot.
thing: is Tessa Blanchard racist?
She
Damone?
thinks
Well, she is now.
No, is she racist, Damone?
she is, but she doesn't think she is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not even like no shooting around. Like the first you were trying to get away with, you're like, no, she's no, this is it's over. the
I
top.
will loan you the crucifix match if you do a flaming crucifix match.
I stop.
Can't do that.
Yeah, I can't even.
Yeah,
look, I'm not gonna lie
can't
to
do
you.
that.
I'll give you a 0.
I would give you a 5 for audacity.
No, if
Mike,
you do that,
stop.
you're getting a 0 for me.
Yeah, I'm giving you a 0 too.
I'm
Yeah,
giving you a 0.
like,
We
I
could
think
write
this-
an amendment in the Book It Constitution just to give that a 0.
Look.
This is the line. Like I'm at the line. Like I
I don't
won't go
wanna-
any further.
At the line.
I
No,
might
he's
push
not
the line
won't go
a
any
little
further.
bit.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna.
No, I'm not doing that. I do have another thing planned. This is obviously isn't the end. There's more shit coming.
I want it to be a Halloween show, and they're dressed up as
Oh.
ghosts. The sisterhood are dressed up as ghosts.
No.
They are coming out with all white gear though.
Mike, I'm gonna go ahead and have you stop while you're ahead.
I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, but you're aiding the racism.
I'm
This
just
is
I'm just
hard.
saying.
This is hard to listen
You're
to.
giving the
But I will
clan
say
a
this.
place to host their
I will-
rally right now.
I will say this: you guys
But-
hate Tessa, which is the
Can-
whole point.
Right? Can you tell me what the end of that was?
They
They beat her up.
brawl. Tessa or like Bianca gets the advantage momentarily, but they overwhelm her. She hits the hammerlock DDT. Then she tells her she'll never win the title. People like her can't win the title, beat her. She's always gonna be better.
It's just bad.
All right.
It's too
So
much.
I think that right now, I'm at a 1. I've defended you every time this has come around because I want to see where it's going. I see where it's going. That being said,
It's
it can't
gone too
redeem
far.
itself in the final round.
Yeah, I know this
If
one
it's-
is a
if-
slow build.
I don't give up on it, but right now I'm at an all-time low.
I
So
shut
I'm
my
giving
TV
it a
off.
1. Yeah, I would have went to bed.
I would have ended my life, Damone.
Wow.
So I could never
Listen.
watch this show again or see any trace of it on my social media.
Listen, John, you talk so much shit about the chef. You had. I don't want to hear it.
I feel like this is still
racist.
better than the chef.
All right, did
Oh,
everybody
it's
rate
not.
this?
This is the same as the chef.
You're saying it's on, you saying it's equal?
This is
Good
equal.
day.
No.
Good day. What did
Did
you rate
everybody-
this?
Oh, we all said 0.5, I thought.
Okay,
we all
okay.
I
thought
said
we
a
all gave it
one.
No, he
0.5.
might give me a
Besides
one.
Mike, who gave it a 1.
But like the whole point is, I want you guys to hate Tessa.
I hate
Mike,
Tessa,
I'm not
but
gonna
I
lie. You giving it a 1 is a little suspicious.
no. I'm at an all-time low with it, but I can see I still have
Yeah, I'm
hope
not
in the
gonna like end
storyline.
it tomorrow with like Tessa being racist and winning it all.
She needs to
There's-
change her way.
I
She needs
see-
to pull a nice pot.
I see there's
I
a
might need to
future.
borrow Nice Pop to
Then
have her-
She'll
Turn-
become like
turn
the
around.
she'll become the accidentally like microaggression person trying to be not racist. in her
Tessa
face.
Blanchard makes Sarah Del Rey look like the biggest babyface on the planet.
She makes
we gotta
everyone-
do that match at some point. Tessa
If you
Dude,
turn her into, I will tell you now, if you turn her into a social justice warrior to be the opposite, complete polar opposite, I'm giving you a 0.5.
No, I'm not doing that. No, there's no way to do that.
The N word is coming. I'm just waiting on it. I'm waiting
That's
on how
what I'm saying. I just know it has to happen.
it's coming.
He's gone too far. Like I'm trying to like.
He's going to.
He could just drop it. I
He
don't
basically
blame
called
him for
Bianca
not
an
dropping
apple
it.
on
But
a-
Right. So
Remember that Breaking Bad meme that's like, he can't keep getting away with
let's,
Yes.
we're 4
It's
shows
been me
in.
since show 1.
He can't keep-
We're 4 shows in, so unless he decided to have Tessa drop it way earlier, this
yeah,
was
I'm already-
bound to happen.
I told you this. You're getting what you're getting.
It's gonna get worse. He has
Worse.
nowhere.
No,
he has.
We knew show 1, but he kept trying to. No, we're not doing that. She's not. We see she's racist here. He tried to.
He leaned into it. I can't blame him for
Yeah, I
leaning
leaned
into it.
I can.
I can't blame him
You
for
fell
leaning
into
into
it.
it. It
You
was
fell into it. You didn't lean into it. You fell into it.
So next match.
I've had
so,
some nights like that.
I hate it.
It was loose.
0.5. Carlito managed to defeat Scott Steiner for the title at Cyber Sunday, but there was controversy due to the outside interference of the island. The following week, Carlito was forced to defend it again against Steiner, but the island is banned from ringside, and a special guest referee is teased. Both Carlito and Scott come out ready to go, but are waiting for the ref. John Cena comes out in a referee shirt to officiate the match. It's a back and forth affair with Cena calling it right down the middle. Carlito tries to cheat, but Cena stops him, and Scott manages to lock in the Steiner recliner. It looks like Carlito is going to tap, but he doesn't and manages to make it to the bottom rope. As Cena is checking on him, Carlito pushes Cena into Scott, and they bump heads. Carlito uses a distraction to hit a backstabber for the pin, which Cena reluctantly counts. After the match, Cena raises Carlito's hand and gives him the title. As Cena goes to leave the ring, Carlito hits Cena with a backstabber and stands over him. The following week, Carlito says that last week, John Cena stuck his nose in his business once again, and that's not cool. You guys see a guy doing all these Make-A-Wish appearances, but I see the truth that he's not doing it because he's a good guy. He's doing it because it's good press. We all see him in his We all saw him in his weird house rules. He doesn't even like kids. John, that's not cool. And now he's this movie star, and he did the same things that he mocked The Rock for. He's a hypocrite. But you always been a hypocrite, John. Hustle, loyalty, respect was your motto, but it's not really respectful or loyal to steal your best friend Zack Ryder's girlfriend. No, that's not cool. How about cheating on your wife with Mickey James? Carlito would never cheat because cheating, that's not cool. Now let's talk about what you did to Carlito. Carlito was a rising star in WWE. A lot of people said I was a future world champion, but it never happened, did it, John? But it's never been explained why. I debuted in WWE beating John Cena 1, 2, 3. And I've always been better than him. But every time I was close to the top, there was Cena and his shovel to knock me back down. Cena knew from the moment I stepped into the company that I was a threat, and he did everything in his power to keep guys like me down. He did it to me, he did it to CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and anyone who might steal the top spot from him. Cena, I know that you went to Vince multiple times and told him to take me out of main events. I know you're the reason that I was released. Those rumors that I was lazy and difficult to work with, they came from you, John. John Cena's music hits and out comes Cena. Cena says, I've heard enough. Oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry. Sorry. Cena says, now I know these people wanted me to come out here and whoop your ass for what you did to me last week, but I'm not going to. Carlito, I'm sorry for everything that went down between us. Whatever wrongs you think I committed, I apologize. I'm sorry. I know that's probably not good enough for you and it doesn't erase our history, but I think it's time we both moved on with our lives. Cena extends his hand for a handshake. Carlito looks around to the crowd for like a good 20, 30 seconds. Carlito shakes his hand and the two former rivals hug. Carlito then says, you know what, Cena? I'm sorry too. John says, I accept your apology. Carlito says, I'm sorry that you didn't die that night that Jesus stabbed you in the club. Wow. Then decks Cena with the microphone, then proceeds to beat him down into a bloody mess. Carlito then pulls out an apple, bites it, then spits it in Cena's face. The following week, there's a
bacteria in the wound.
The following week, there's a video package of the past about John Cena and Carlito, culminating with some of their matches and clips. The following week, culminating with a replay of the previous week. On the week before Ides of March, Cena is in the ring. Last week, I came out here and I tried to make amends with Carlito, but he didn't want that. He wanted to attack me again. Carlito, I gave you a pass for the first time, but as the old saying goes, fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. There won't be a third time, Carlito. I already talked to management, and at Ides of March, it will be John Cena versus Carlito for the TCW World Title. Carlito appears on the Toxictron. Surprise, surprise. John Cena uses his name to get another world title shot. John Cena going from company to company to company, chasing that 17th title. Now that's not cool. But if you want another beating, that's fine. I've beaten you before and I'll do it again. Cena says, Carlito, you're right about one thing. You have beaten me before, but not when it really mattered. When it was time to go to the next level against me, you never could. That's why I asked David to make this match for the title. There's only one way to prove to me, these people, and most importantly yourself, that you are better than me. And that's when it's the biggest and that's when it's for the biggest prize and then the biggest moment of your career. But the difference is, Carlito, for me, this is just another world title match. But for you, this means everything. Carlito says at Ides of March, when I beat you, I solidify my legacy and show that it's always been true. Or show what's always been true. That Carlito is the better man. and that's cool. So to the match itself, Cena is wearing a red and yellow and blue Peacemaker inspired t-shirt and the black jorts. Carlito comes out wearing a white and blue Hawaiian shirt with purple trunks. The match starts and the two lock up. Cena drives Carlito back into the corner and gives a clean break. Cena backs away and says, like, come on. Carlito acts like he's going to lock up again, but then he slides out of the ring and says, I'm not ready. Like, and on some heel shit. So the spots, Cena goes to the ring after Carlito, chasing him into the ring. But when he does, Carlito cuts him off and starts stomping on him. Carlito hits a snap swinging neck breaker. Carlito hits a running knee lift followed by a clothesline. Carlito Irish whips Cena, then hits a sit out spine buster for a 2 count. Carlito locks in a figure 4, but Cena is able to reverse the pressure. Reverse the pressure, forcing Carlito to let go. So they're in the figure 4. Cena turns over. As they both get up, Cena gets Carlito on the shoulder for the FU, but Carlito is able to get out of it and slides out of the ring. Cena has the advantage. He gut kicks Carlito, bounces off the ropes, and then hits a throwback for a long 2. Cena hits a half Nelson into a neck breaker. Cena then hits the spin out power bomb. Cena has Carlito in the corner and hits a running one-handed bulldog, then sets up for the 5-knuckle shuffle. As he bounces off the rope, Carlito kips up and hits a drop kick. Carlito hits a springboard moonsault for a 2.5, then continues to work on Cena's legs. Carlito locks in another figure 4, but uses the rope for leverage when the ref is checking on Cena. Cena manages to slowly drag himself to the ropes, and he has a limp. As Cena is getting up, Carlito hits springboard back elbow and drops Cena for a. As Cena is getting up, Carlito hits a springboard back elbow, not drop. I don't know why I put drop. Springboard back elbow on Cena for a 2 count. And it goes for a pin and gets a 2. Carlito goes for the overdrive, but Cena counters it into a Luthez press with punches that hits the running shoulder blocks, then the 5-knuckle shuffle. Cena hits the FU, but Carlito manages to barely kick out. Cena then Irish whips Carlito into the corner. Cena lifts Carlito up and puts him on the top rope. Carlito and Cena are throwing punches back and forth, with Cena eventually getting an upper hand and puts Carlito on his shoulders. Cena hits the super FU and crawls for the cover, and gets his arm on Carlito. 1, 2, but then Carlito barely gets his foot on the bottom rope. Cena waits for Carlito to get up and goes for the springboard stunner, but as he's falling back to do the stunner part, Carlito hits the backstabber in midair. Carlito 1, 2, 3. The winner and still TCW champion, Carlito. And that's about a 20-minute match, including introductions and all that stuff.
I liked it.
Yeah, I think you overachieved on your spots on this one. I think you got really creative with that, so I really enjoyed that aspect. I think the build left a little bit to be desired, but it wasn't bad.
Damn, Travis got that white lung.
He got the diseases that I got from Tessa's promo. He ain't hold up that malaria well. I'm between 2 numbers.
Go with the higher.
I say go with the lower.
I say split them.
I'm gonna give this a 3.85.
What was the other number?
It was between 3.75 and 4. I just went perfectly in the middle.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take it. Anyone else?
I would give it a 4.
Okay, I'll take it.
I agree. You overachieved. You got the most out of him.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I'm gonna go with a solid 4 as well.
Okay.
I think the build was kind of weaker, but I think the match.
I like the build.
like the match was pretty good.
The match, that ending spot, especially with the springboard stunner reversal, that was sick. That's a spot where I would have jumped out of my seat.
The other spot I had like thought about for doing it, I actually talked to Travis and John about it to see if it was physically possible.
It wasn't.
Was to do
It wasn't.
that Cena would have him like up for the super like AA, and Carlito would like reverse it and then do like they would both fall for like Cena would fall forward as Carlito's falling into a like
Backstabber?
a back like a Canadian destroyer backstabber.
Yeah, that's not at all possible.
Yeah, that's why I said I was like that was.
That's why before I did it, I'm like, does this seem like humanly?
He did too much.
I mean, I've seen the Canadian destroyer turn into a backstabber, but not the way you just described it.
And if it even is possible, describing it would be so difficult that it wouldn't sound like it's possible.
Right? It would, yeah, that yeah.
You would
You
have
killed
to
it
pull-
with the springboard stunner.
You
That was
would
a
have
much
had to
better spot.
pull out 2 action figures and show us.
Right.
That'd be wild.
This
If
is
you
how
did
the
that.
spot goes.
Mike, what you give it?
I'm gonna go with the 4.
Okay. So as Carlito is celebrating, Cena gets up and offers to shake like Carlito's hand. Cena being good guy Cena. Carlito shakes his hand, but then he spits in his face. Cena then grabs Carlito and hits the FU. And goes and like starts leaving the ring. Suddenly we hear bro, and out comes Matt Riddle with the Feaster Fired briefcase. As he makes his way to the ring, Cena gives Riddle a head nod, like they acknowledge each other. Riddle hands the briefcase to the ref, and the ref does like the stereotypical, "You're cashing it in. I don't know what to do with this."
Refs are so clueless with that shit.
They are
Every time.
Riddle hands
like if this was real, like Triple H would sit them motherfuckers down. I was like, all right, here's what you do.
Whenever they hand you the briefcase, they're cashing it in. That's all that means.
Have them slide it to you quickly, and then slide it to the timekeeper.
Riddle hands the briefcase to the ref and is cashing in his shot for the TCW World Title. Carlito slowly makes his way to his feet using the ropes to stand. And the ref rings the bell. Riddle immediately goes for a German suplex, but Carlito manages to actually land on his feet, and he hits a springboard back elbow, then goes for the backstabber. But Riddle manages to hold on to the top rope to prevent himself from like going back with it. And Carlito goes crashing to the ground backwards. Riddle then hits the Broton, which is the running senton. He then picks up Carlito and hits the Bro Derek for the 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match and the new TCW World Champion is Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle goes into the crowd and celebrates with the Toxic Verse to close the show.
All right, I'm gonna give this
the Toxic Verse.
I'm gonna give this a 4.5, and I'm gonna explain where I took the 50 cents off because I like Riddle cashing in. And sometimes this would be seen as like a heelish situation, but because Carlito did something dickish going into it, you justified Carlito getting this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I didn't like was like the sequence of moves you did in the actual cash-in was off. Like Carlito shouldn't be hitting springboards after what he just went through, like especially just taking an AA. I feel like if he had just reversed the German suplex, landed on his feet, hit a backstabber for the scare, Riddle kicks out, hits his move, pins, that would have been a way cleaner sequence.
Okay.
So that's what the 50 cents was for. But other than that, I like everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. For somebody who's trying to pull himself up, trying to get up, and all of a sudden he's just jumping up on the ropes like 2 seconds later is wild. So I also agree with that. I was just a little more stricter on mine, so I went with a 4 instead of a 4.5.
So I agree with what they said, but I'm the dinosaur and you're the dinosaur, and you should have ring psychology, and you broke that down and just didn't sell it all. And so I'm even stricter than they are. I'm giving you a 3.5 because that's an egregious mistake to me.
I know they don't give a shit about ring psychology. So.
Yeah, but I do, and I'm disappointed, Edamon. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Everybody said it. I'm going with a 4.
Okay. So yeah, the new champion is Matt Riddle, and he's in the crowd with the Toxic Verse, and that's Ides of March.
Hell yeah, that's a good show, Damone. I like.
So wait, you didn't do the deathmatch shit? You didn't have
No.
anything for deathmatch? Okay.
No, the death match isn't on this one.
I was wondering why my stomach was feeling okay this pay-per-view.
Everything couldn't be on the show.
Yeah, you can't do that shit on a weekly show. You can't like no. TV,
Well, I technically did on my first
that's
weekly
true.
show, but
yeah, no TV deal is gonna maintain itself doing that shit every week.
we're on
I was gonna say,
Amazon.
wasn't somebody like his back was on the turnbuckle?
Yeah, we're on Amazon, and we are owned by Bezos.
AEW
so we
gets threatened. Yeah, AEW gets threatened by their sponsors for way weaker death matches than what you're doing. So like,
Yeah. But I have
Remember when
shit
they
I want to
almost
do. I'm
lost
gonna do
the-
for that, and it's gonna be that build for my next that's gonna be on my next pay per view, and the build for that's gonna be a kind of a longer one. So
remember when AEW almost lost their Domino's sponsorship because they had the ad playing in picture at the same time as a pizza cutter spot? in a
Oh,
death
yeah.
match?
Yeah.
That shit
That's
is
good
so
marketing.
That's so comical.
That's good marketing.
It's
to
like
me.
it's like
They were
funny, and
pissed.
I get why they did it, but it was like fuck up of the century too. At the
I
same
didn't even think. I thought Tony Khan said that he doesn't like control when the ads play.
time. So maybe it was an accident. But it was,
It
like,
was
Probably
like- it
it's
was-
like
it was
weird
literally
coincidental.
What'd
it
you
was
say,
really fucking funny though.
Mike?
Okay,
I said I think it's just a coincidence.
Yeah, I agree. And it was just a perfect coincidence to where
it was like
it couldn't be any better. It's like a General Electric fucking commercial while they're busting
Right,
light tubes over each other's heads.
like during the Kane and Shane McMahon spot, a General Electric commercial came on.
God damn it! All right, Mike, let's get this shit wrapped up.
All
I'm
right.
fucking sick of the moment.
Let's do some plugs. Bad guy.
Speaking of plugs,
Damn it. Just go to the Bad Guy Spoken podcast on YouTube. Watch the show. It's pretty good.
Little fudge.
If you want to see me hate on Brock Lesnar a lot, then you can go to @LilXFudge on Twitter, where I hate on Brock Lesnar every day.
Travis.
Remember when John had a guild? Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at IamTravyT. That is at IamTriavvyYT on all social media.
Damone.
I between the TikTok and the money T13, so it's DAMONEYT number 3. And you can also follow the T13 Media TikTok at T13 on there, and you'll see clips of the show and shit.
The letter
And-
T, the number 1,
Yeah,
and the word
1.
3 spelled out.
Yes. So follow both TikToks.
You can find me on Twitter, hi-fi_Mike, where I basically just tweet at Boy Meets World podcast. You can find all the shows on the T13 Media Network on our website at T13media.com. It's the letter T, the number 1, 3 spelled out, media.com. Rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and Golden Rules 5 or fuck off.
Whoever has the goal makes the rules.
I ain't gonna lie, I did like that line though. I mean, the rest of it was ass, but like, I did like that line.
All right. Let's book it. See ya.
Bye.